Hey friends, I am Christy and we are back in the Ramsey Ranch kitchen today, and I have had an inspiration which has sent me off into a bit of a recipe seeking tangent to make something that we had at that restaurant. So we had an amazing creamy chicken and artichoke soup up at the local goat in Pigeon Forge. And I'm like, I really need to figure out how to make that at home, but I kind of want to make it my way. So I've kind of spent the last few days formulating this recipe. So you're going to get to come along with me on that. And I'm going to make some wonderful herbed rosemary focaccia bread to go along with it because, well, what's soup without some good bread, right? And you know something? I'm a soup eater 365 days a year. It doesn't matter how warm it is. We're going to be in the 80s today, but I still like soup. Soup is good for any time of year. We are going to make that in the Pampered Chef multi-cooker, or if you've got a pressure cooker, instant pot, or you can also make it on the stove. You just have to change up how you do it a little bit. So come along with us.
Oh, it's a simple living in the hills of Tennessee. But Brooks and Christy say that's the life for me.
So you're wondering what this beautiful mixer is in front of me. This beautiful mixer came to me free from Pampered Chef because I met my 6-month goal in less than 3 months. So they sent it to me free for being a consultant and doing a great job. And I really do owe all of that to all of you who have been supporting me through the Pampered Chef journey, and you've been enjoying your kitchen tools as well. So this is another new one to me. This has been out about 2 years, but I was super excited to get it because I am a bread maker and a baker, and as you all might know already, I love my kitchen tools. So this has come. This is the deluxe stand mixer. And we're going to mix up the rosemary focaccia bread mix from Pampered Chef. And it just requires some water, a little olive oil, and the mix itself. It does require some rise time. That's why we're going to do this first. And then we're going to get on with the soup that I am 99.9% sure is going to be pretty amazing, because I've been studying how to make the soup from numerous recipes, and I've sort of come up with my own version. But okay, so this stand mixer is actually pretty cool because it has its own on-off switch. In the back, it's got its own switch that turns it on there. And then, you know, my KitchenAid, not all KitchenAids do this. Mine does not. So it raises up and locks the head there. I've got a pour shield here. And it does have 3 of the attachments. I've got the dough hook here because we're making bread. The mixer blade, the mixy whiskey, however you want to call that. And then the whipper. So we're obviously going to use the dough hook here. And I'm just going to go ahead and empty our bread mix into the bowl. Now the bowl, I also love this. I've actually just used this one time so far, but I have loved it. The bowl has a great locking mechanism so that when you are cooking or you're mixing, it's not going to come off. So that is awesome. All right, so in the bowl, we're going with our rosemary focaccia bread mix. And it's got the herbs all in it already. But we're actually going to do something to bougie it up when we're ready to bake it. I'll show you what that is. I have to smell. Oh, I smell this fresh herbs. You know, I've got fresh rosemary outside, so I might make a pretty little design on the top to make it even more pretty. I've got 1.5 cups of warm water here. You don't want to have it too hot because you don't want to kill the yeast and the rising agents that's in the bread. And then 2 teaspoons of, I'm just using a light olive oil. You can use whatever kind of oil you like, but it does call for olive oil. And with a focaccia, I would definitely recommend an olive oil. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back down. All right, so this mixer is smart. It is a smart mixer, y'all. I don't have to babysit it. I don't have to wait for it. I don't have to do anything. I'm gonna set it and forget it, and it's gonna do its work. I'm keeping the pour shield on so that we don't make a mess. So I'm gonna go up here, and it's got custom settings. We are wanting to knead. So it's for 8 minutes. Now the instructions say 6 minutes, but I'm gonna figure the first 2 minutes is kind of gonna be mixing it, and the last 6 minutes is gonna be kneading it. Kneading it for 8 will not hurt this at all. So it's a smart mixer. Off it goes. It's got a timer. It's telling me 7 minutes and 53 seconds. It will be done. So I will bring you back when it is done, but I also might bring you closer so that you can see it work. So it mixed slowly for about 2 minutes, and now it's at 6 minutes 18 seconds, and the speed has increased to speed 2. And as the mixer goes on, it's going to continue increasing the speed so that it can knead the dough to the proper consistency. Is that cool or what?
Baking bread in the Ramsey Ranch kitchen, feeling so alive. With Christy at your side, you're ready to thrive.
Our focaccia bread has been kneaded, and the package says that the dough will be very wet and sticky, so it is. I'm going to remove the dough hook because we don't need that anymore. And the instructions say to oil a bowl for rising. So I've oiled this batter bowl here. So there is what our dough looks like. It is wet and sticky. That's what it says it should be. I've never made focaccia bread ever, and I'm a bread baker, so this is going to be a fun experiment. So I'm just going to use my skinny scraper here and get that into the batter bowl. It smells really good. The herbs and the rosemary, you can smell that right off the bat. So the focaccia bread mix is one of the many bread mixes that Pampered Chef has to make life easier. So this is the first time I've made this, and so far, just based on smell alone, I'm going to say it's a winner. But we will see when it's done. Okay, so directions say to cover this and leave it in a warm place to rise. So I'm actually just going to put it in my oven with the oven light on and give it about an hour. And then we're going to come back and put it in the pan. Look at our focaccia dough. It has definitely doubled in size. So we're going to go ahead and put it in the pan. But before we do that, we've got to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm using an extra virgin olive oil only because focaccia is Italian and you want the flavor of that. So I'm just going to use the basting brush here to evenly coat the pan. This is the 12 by 12 small baking pan. That is for our deluxe air fryer and oven, because I don't want to heat up the kitchen today, so I'm going to use the small appliances to make this entire meal. And even though it's warm outside, it's not going to heat up the whole kitchen. All right, so we've got the olive oil in there. And next step says to gently pour it out of the bowl and to the pan. Very impressed with how easy this has been so far. It smells so good. There's definitely some great yeast action going on in there. All right. So I'm gonna put some of the olive oil on my fingertips so that they don't stick. And I'm just gonna carefully spread the dough out to the sides. And the bread will absorb that olive oil, and that is the one of the delicious parts of a focaccia is that it will have that wonderful earthy olive oil taste. All right. So it's going to go back to rise for another around 2 hours to 3 hours, depending on how, you know, the temperature of the house affects the bread, the dough. I don't think it's going to take 3 hours. So when that's ready and we're ready to bake, I'm going to show you the how we're going to decorate it and put it in the oven, and then we will make our wonderful soup. Hello, ladies. Hi, pretty girls. You six are enjoying your extended coop. Yeah. Hey, pretties. There's Miss Dolly and Reba. There's Mama. Pretty girls. Some beautiful, very fragrant rosemary growing here. And I'm going to cut off a few of those stalks or stems for the top of our focaccia bread. Folks have been asking to see how our little garden is doing, and everything is definitely growing. We've got a couple of Cherokee purple tomatoes on this plant and some early girls back there. And we've got our herbs. This is a dahlia. I've got a lettuce, which I already have harvested, so it's growing back. I've got some cilantro. We've got a big cilantro here. Rainbow chard, Thai basil, regular basil, curly parsley. We've got some beans and some cucumbers and peppers. So everything is coming along. I've got some holy basil here, so I'm gonna cut off a couple of those to put on the top of our focaccia bread. Focaccia looks beautiful. It has definitely risen. And I'm just brushing a little more olive oil around there. I want to be gentle because I don't want to disrupt it too much. And while I'm doing this, I'm making little dimplies in there. You can also use your fingers to do it, but I'm just going to use the brush. Make some brown spots. You can see the rosemary and the herbs in there. Really very nice. Alright, so we are going to make fancy focaccia, a floral focaccia, and I'm going to use these herbs from my garden, and I've got some grape tomatoes that I sliced up and some scallion stems that we're going to use. So here's the rosemary that I picked, and I'm sort of using that like a, I guess you might want to call it maybe like bushes or grass. Oh, and it smells so good. You should smell these herbs. Oh my goodness, they smell so good. Okay, so this is gonna be like a stem. And then I've got these tomatoes that I'm going to put in there. Kind of make a little flower. Fancy focaccia, y'all. Oh, isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. Sometimes you just have to do something that is special. You know, you just have to go all out. Do something you've never done before. This has been so much fun doing this. Now this bread does take a while with the raising processes and everything, but if you're home and you're going about your business and whatnot, you know, you just go along and do the processes in between everything. I think we need to find one more petal for this one. Beautiful. Now you can also use slices of like purple onion to do this, and I'll have to find a photo, see if I can find a photo, but basically what it does is the slices, the way that the purple onion is cut, it makes like roses. It's kind of really cool. So this is my holy basil, which, by the way, if you have never grown or smelled holy basil, it is so beautiful. It's like, I almost like want a perfume from it. Brooks is not even the most herby kind of guy, and he was like, oh my gosh. And you know something, this is the first time I've ever grown that, and I've been smelling something outside near the garden, and I'm like, I don't know what thing is smelling so intoxicatingly beautiful, but I figured it out today. And you can actually take this and make tea from it, and it is a very good anti-inflammatory. But this one's got its leaves still on it. I'm gonna leave them on. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty, y'all. Oh my goodness, I love it. How beautiful. Maybe I'll just use a couple of the holy basil leaves to give our little flowers a couple of leaves. Well, this is going to be some amazing bread, I think. And then we're going to get on and do the soup, which is really easy. I've done all of the prep work as far as chopping up the chicken and the artichokes and all of that ahead of time. So putting that together will be very simple. Look at this. That is so pretty. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. It's gonna be too pretty to eat. Amazing. Okay, so we're gonna put this in the 350 oven. I am using the deluxe air fryer and oven for 24 minutes. And I will see you when it comes out, and then we're gonna start the soup. But look. So pretty. All right, y'all, you should smell it in here. I always say it every time, but I can't help it. It smells so good. Those herbs, the bread, the olive oil. Oh my goodness. So we are finished. It says we're ready, so we're gonna get it out and see what it looks like. I did add 2 minutes, so it ended up going for 26 minutes. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so pretty. Look. Isn't that awesome? I am so proud of this. It's beautiful. And it really was easy. Just get you some fresh herbs, or if you grow fresh herbs, and let me tell you something. The holy basil, also known as tulsi, that's intoxicating. So I'm just gonna let this cool here while I start and put together our creamy chicken and artichoke soup in our deluxe multi-cooker. You can definitely, Brooks is laughing at me in there. You can definitely make this in an Instant Pot as well, or you can make it on top of the stove. You simply would saute your vegetables on top of the stove and then let it cook through on top of the stove. But I love the convenience of the multi-cooker. So I'm gonna get that out, get it ready, and show you what we're gonna do. Okay, I am going to move all these ingredients as soon as I explain what we have here. I've got my multi-cooker out, and I gotta turn it on. Beep. And I'm gonna set it to sear. It's on 20 minutes. High heat. Long press. And it is going to start heating up our pot so that we can saute our chicken and our onions. So, okay, so for this recipe, I've got 2 chicken breasts, about a pound, not a pound each, pound total, that I have chopped up, and I have seasoned it with salt, pepper, and dried thyme. The key to this soup, which will go so nice with the focaccia, is the herbs that I'm using. I've got 2 diced up shallots, or shallots, however you want to call it. If you're British, you might say shallot. If you're American, you might say shallot. Whatever you call it, I call it gonna make it tasty. So I've got, it's probably close to a cup of diced shallot. I have a jar of the marinated artichoke hearts. Now I have drained the juice off and I already chopped them up to save time, just into smaller pieces. They don't have to be real fine. So it's a jar of the marinated artichoke hearts. I've got some EVOO, extra virgin olive oil, which I'm going to put in the pot now, just a couple tablespoons worth. And I've got some white cooking wine. Y'all have seen that I use white cooking wine in quite a few things because it brings out so much awesome flavor. I have a 32-ounce box of organic low-sodium chicken broth. I've got some sea salt, pepper, spinach, and I'm also going to use some heavy cream at the end. So spinach was not in the soup that we had at the local goat, but I think it's a great addition, so we're gonna do it. I am gonna go ahead and bring you in closer so you can see how I'm putting this together in the deluxe multi-cooker. I have got our pot, it has preheated for about 2 minutes, which is probably just enough. I think that chicken will sizzle when it hits this pot. Whoop, there it is. And we're gonna add in our shallots. And I did not go over the herbs and spices. I will do that as I put those in the pot. But all of these will work together so beautifully. This is kind of a bougie soup. So we got bougie focaccia and bougie soup. So we are going to go ahead and let that chicken sear off and let those shallots caramelize a bit. This is a super simple soup, actually. It's not difficult at all. The longest part was chopping up the chicken and the shallot. The rest is just dump and go. And let the multi-cooker do all the work. A few of you have bought the multi-cooker through our Pampered Chef store, and you have told me how much you're enjoying it. I have a couple of hosts that actually just got it as their 60% off item for hosting a party. They're party qualified with $200 in orders, which is super simple to get. And they chose the multi-cooker because they literally have seen how versatile it is and how easy it makes our lives, especially when we're very, very busy. Okay, so I'm just going to let that do its thing for a moment, and we'll be right back. Just give it a mix every few minutes or so. My main objective here is to kind of caramelize those shallots a little bit so that it releases that flavor. Now, the multi-cooker itself will release a ton of flavor, but being a flavor queen, I want it all. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the additional spices with you. You can use fresh garlic, but we are actually out, so I'm going to use organic garlic powder from Azure. I have found that it is very, very close to having the real deal in your dishes. I've got thyme leaves. Wish I had fresh, but I only have dried, so I'm going to use about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more of that. The original soup that we had at the local goat had the thyme, and it really was just kind of the game changer for the soup. And I'm using lemon pepper, which also has salt in it, so you want to be careful with lemon pepper. But that lift of the lemon and the wine is just going to give the flavors in this. It's just going to balance it out and make it into something amazing, I'm almost sure. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add in our herbs. I've got about a tablespoon of the lemon pepper. Now remember, there is salt in the kind I'm using. I'm going to use a teaspoon of the garlic powder. And I'm going to use a nice teaspoon, maybe a little bit more, of that dried thyme. You want to see the thyme in there. I'm not going to add any additional pepper. I am going to add just a couple of little sprinkles of sea salt. That might have been a half a teaspoon total because I do have low sodium chicken broth. I would rather have to add salt than take it away. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel on my sear function here so that it stops cooking. Now I have these marinated artichoke hearts. These are from Aldi. You can use the plain or the marinated. I decided to use the marinated because I thought the flavor would really be great. It's kind of an Italian marinade. Got a few stray artichokes in there, so use some broth. Get them all out. Adding in a 32-ounce box or 4 cups of the organic chicken broth. Again, I have the low sodium. Simply Nature from Aldi. Adding in about a half a cup of the cooking white wine. Use any dry white wine that you like. That's about a half a cup. A little more, a little less, ain't gonna hurt nothing, y'all. The alcohol cooks out and it just adds flavor. And I'm gonna do a couple of handfuls of the baby spinach. I'm gonna tuck that down in there. Put the lid on, and I will show you how I turn it on. Okay, so I'm going to turn it to soup. Blinking on soup there. So we're making a soup. I don't think we need 30 minutes because our meat is partially cooked through. Generally, poultry takes 15 minutes, so we're going to go 15 minutes. Long breath, and we will see you when it's done. Our creamy chicken and artichoke soup is done, so I have to release the pressure. I just press this button. Alrighty, let's see what it looks like in here. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little taste test before I add the cream, just to make sure it's got enough salt. Looks really good. Nice rich broth. That is darn near perfect, and it tastes really good. It's going to add one more sprinkle of salt. Just a dash. And you know, you can always salt your food at the table. Okay, so I'm going to add in about 1 cup of heavy cream. Very nice. Give it one more taste. Look at the herbs. Oh, I love the herbs. We're having fun with herbs today, guys and ladies. And I've got 2 tablespoons of arrowroot to a little bit of water, and that is going to thicken this up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and put it back on our sear function. Like we started with, on a medium heat. So the arrowroot will thicken that up a bit. And then we will come back and I'm gonna try the focaccia, that beautiful focaccia, and this wonderful creamy chicken and artichoke soup. Alrighty, the creamy chicken and artichoke soup is done and it looks and smells amazing. I'm gonna try it. And I also am gonna try some of this focaccia bread. That looks and smells fantastic. And if you don't want to eat the dried herbs on top, you can always pull those off. It really is just to make it pretty, and it does flavor it. So I use a plastic or nylon spatula in this pan because they are non-stick. Oh goodness. I have to cut that right there. But it does come right out of the pan. The top was a little bit, shall we say, crusty, which it should be. But look at this. That, oh gosh, it smells so good. I'm gonna try a bite of that first. Oh gosh. I'm gonna twirl the spatula. Wow. That is stinking awesome. Stinking in a good way. It's a good stink. It's got a beautiful crumb, and I'm gonna try and show the camera this. I'll try to show a close-up of what the inside looked like. It is perfect focaccia. The herbs are fantastic. You taste that olive oil. That's the first time I've made that from the Pampered Chef mix of the rosemary focaccia bread. I'm going to be ordering a couple more of those to have on hand because it is perfect for soup night. All right, I am going to go ahead and try, and this is hot. Oh, and it's thickening up as it cools just a little bit. This looks almost identical to the soup that we had at Local Goat. If I didn't know better, I almost would think I got it there. I did good. It's delicious. You taste the herbs of the thyme and that lift of the lemon pepper. You've got the garlic and the shallots, which just bring that richness. And of course you've got the cream that just makes it decadent. That is a really, really, really good soup. Yum. One more. Absolutely perfect addition with the focaccia bread. You could always dip it. Oh my gosh. This all seems like it's kind of fancy. Fancier kind of soup, fancier kind of bread. But really, I showed you, it is very easy. It is very easy. making the design on there. That was super easy as cutting up a few cherry tomatoes, grabbing some rosemary, and some of the holy basil, which you could use any herb. You could use like red or yellow peppers to make a design. You can use purple onions to make a design. It's fun. It was fun kind of planning out what was I gonna do. So, wow. I'm excited about this. This is really good. And you know what? I didn't even have to use the big oven. It's 82 outside. These appliances really aren't gonna heat up your kitchen. This one certainly doesn't. The multi-cooker does not. And I only use the top oven on the deluxe air fryer and oven. So I love the appliances. They are awesome. If you want to try to get one at a discount, you can always host an online party. It is very easy. You don't have to have Facebook to host an online party. You can just send me an email. Email is below, and I can talk to you about how that works. June is double rewards month for 2025, so hosts get double the free. So it's really, really amazing. I've never paid full price, even when I wasn't a consultant. And that is the argument with Pampered Chef. Some folks say it is a bit expensive. One, you're getting quality. You're getting items that will last. Some of my stuff is 20, 25 years old, or even older actually. I have a few items that are as old as I've been cooking, and I'm 48, so you do the math. But you're getting quality, you're getting a longer warranty, you're getting me, your personal kitchen concierge, to show you how to make things, how to use things, to troubleshoot things. And you know what? And if you don't like it, send it back. They have a 30-day return, and their warranties are absolutely the best. So I just want to thank you all for supporting me in the Pampered Chef endeavors. I'm excited to go to conference in July in Chicago. So that will be my first time ever going to conference. So I'm really excited about that. But the recipe will be down below in the description box if you want to make it, and also the link to the focaccia bread, to the multi-cooker, and to our Pampered Chef website if you want anything. All of the items basically I'm using here are Pampered Chef, down to the straining ladle here, which can strain stuff or dip stuff. And anyway, I am so excited about this soup. I was like, I'm gonna try to recreate it, and I think I did a pretty darn good job. It's so good. So good. Perfect. It is perfect. And if you've never tried artichokes, this is a great way to try it, because it's in the soup and it's not something that's difficult to use, and you can just use the jarred marinated artichokes. So anyway, if you like this video, I'm asking you to subscribe to the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen. I don't know where I'll be next. Actually, I have an idea of where I'll be next. There might be 2 videos this week, so hang in there for that. But give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the Ramsey Ranch Kitchen, because I want you to get you in the kitchen and make you up something good. Make you up some chicken and artichoke soup, and order you a couple of focaccia breads and try your hand at fancy focaccia. So I'm super excited about this, and I'm gonna let y'all go and go make your own. But in the meantime, it is double rewards month with Pampered Chef. I have a few slots available. Parties usually last 6 or 7 days. If you want a shorter party, that will do fine. Don't you deserve to pamper yourself with some kitchen tool upgrades? I can tell you, I would not live without these 2 items especially, and I love them. So God bless you. I love every single one of you who have stood by us and have helped us to grow this community. I so enjoyed the live stream the other night, and we'll do one again soon. Bye-bye, everybody. God bless you.